What's up, folks? It's me, your favorite sorcerer. How do you like my Italian accent? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. No, it's pretty good. No offense. Okay, just to keep it fair, let me do a German accent. This is a new video about a very important subject, which is how to make your rituals, your magical rituals, work better. Because we want, of course, always to have good results with the magical work that we do. Or maybe I could try to speak in a British accent. Let me try this one and attempt to make it clearer what I want to transfer over to you. No, not transfer in a sense of a bank transfer. I'm talking about, of course, how to get your fucking rituals to work. Okay, man, these accents take a lot of processing power, man. So let's focus on the accent that I usually speak in, so that I actually can get the message across. Okay, so let's look at this. Yesterday, I was teaching a new lesson in the School of Psychic Seduction. Okay, now we're almost a month in now. And of course, amazing things have already been taught and learned. Now, yesterday I taught a lesson that I think is so important and so helpful, powerful, illuminating, that I just wanted to share with other people as well. Okay, so here's what's up, man. How do you get your rituals to work, or what is the missing ingredient, most likely, or one of the missing ingredients? Now, obviously, there are multiple different elements to a ritual that works, right? I laid them out many times. For example, you got to be in the trance state. We call that gnosis. Okay? How do you know you're in a gnosis state? You are no longer analyzing things. Okay, so your rational mind is shut off, and you're just in the experience. You're basically just experiencing. You're not analyzing or putting a value on things. You just accept the experience, right? So your conscious mind is basically shut off, and the unconscious mind and the subconscious mind start working on your behalf magically, right? Then you have the amount of energy you can put into the ritual, and the amount of energy that you can put into the goal and the visualization. And when we talk about visualization, of course, I mean imagination. And that really boils down to concentration, because when you can keep one idea focused in your mind, automatically energy is going to flow towards it, right? Now, this is a very powerful and I think, very good description of how magic actually works and what the elements of that are, right? Now, here's another way of looking at that. And this is what I taught the people yesterday on the School of Psychic Seduction. See, non-attachment is extremely important for the manifestation. So I used the context of psychic seduction. So when you talk to someone that you're seducing psychically, for example, okay, you would use techniques, of course, but you would have to not be attached to the outcome and those techniques working. This is crucial. You have to be non-attached to the results that you get in order to get results. Why? Because there's a principle that you would find in arts like NLP, for example, right? Where expectation creates the wrong type of energy. It's essentially desire creates tension, and that prevents the unconscious mind from doing the work, because you're using the unconscious mind to do the work. You see what I mean? It's the same with positive or negative expectations. Even if you're trying to avoid something, when you're too eager to get something, you're creating a block. when you're worried about something, you're also creating a block, right? So what does that mean? What does that boil down to? See, you have to let your unconscious mind do the work. So, for example, when you would seduce someone, right? So, you could use, words to open up the gateway into the unconscious mind by using words like imagine. If you say imagine, everything after that is going to be reproduced in her mind, and it's going to register in her unconscious mind like as if it's her own thoughts, okay? Or you're talking to her, you say something like, listen, I want you to not think about that. I surely hope you won't imagine what I'm about to say. But there was this guy that I heard about yesterday, and he had a really, really big penis. So, what did I do here? Now, I didn't give her any other choice but to think about what I'm about to say and imagine that and picture that in her mind. And then I talked about that guy, right? But at the same time, I was pointing towards myself, that guy. She's gonna, even if I do this, right? Look at both my hands. She's gonna associate that with me, and then I talk about this random guy that I heard about with a big penis, right? Now, obviously, listen, I mean, you're not gonna get a girl by convincing her that you got a big penis, okay? But I'm just using that as an example. Obviously, you're gonna need other qualities, right? Okay, and not all women like big penises, Definitely not all of them. Some of them are like, oh, I don't like it too big because of let's not go there, right? But the point is, when you use words like that, you're obviously opening her unconscious mind up, right? And you can essentially, like a piano, you can play different notes, and you can, even with a time constraint, you can program certain things in that later will make her fall in love with you, because she's going to start thinking about you later. Because when do you fall in love with a person? Not when you're in front of them. Think about it. Yeah, you might like the person, you might have good emotions towards the person, but when do you really fall in love? It's later, when you think about the person. You hypnotize yourself into that state of being in love with an individual. No? That's how it works, So all of you ladies who are who are watching this video, maybe you have watched videos about this special guy on YouTube, and then later, maybe hours after you watched the video, you remember that guy again, and you just thought he was so incredibly charismatic and handsome, and you felt, have you ever been in love? You know what that feels like? Or what does it feel like for you? Is it maybe a tingling sensation in your belly, and it gets stronger and stronger, and it's like a spiral of energy that you can feel, and it moves up your torso all the way up into your head and makes you feel so light and fulfilled. Anyways, so this obviously would just be conversational hypnosis, not even psychic seduction, right? But the point is, as you're using techniques like this, you gotta stay non-attached, because then the unconscious mind can do the work. Now, when you, let's say, manifest a person in your life that you would like to have, in terms of, let's say, maybe an affair, maybe a hot romantic summer, you get what I'm saying, like, or a girlfriend, or somebody that you would want to marry. You got to program that into your unconscious mind, okay? So for that process, it's important that you get that desire around your conscious mind. Your conscious mind must not think about that. As long as a desire is in your conscious mind, you will not get it, okay? So if you're talking to this girl and you're using, let's say, psychic seduction techniques, and you want them to work, and you want her to like you, it's not going to happen. You got to be able to use those techniques in a very nonchalant way, in a way where, like, just try it out, just be playful. The desire or the will cannot be in your conscious mind. The unconscious mind does the work. See, your conscious mind, for the most part, is just a spectator. It doesn't really do anything. It really doesn't do anything. It's the illusion that your conscious mind is in charge. It really isn't. What really runs the show is your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is really well equipped to deal with the complexity of the world. It's a very complex world. A lot of moving factors. And your conscious mind cannot handle that. But your unconscious mind can. So whatever you want, you have to get into your unconscious mind for it to be realized for you, to manifest for you. And so in that case, you would maybe do a ritual like this, okay? So you would, example. So you have an idea of a woman that you might want to meet, okay? So you write down her attributes. I want her, me personally, I don't like blondes, but maybe you like blondes. Maybe you want her to be, whatever, a certain age, you want to have a certain look, you want certain characteristics, personality traits, and so on and so forth. So you create a little list of attributes, and then you take letters from those different words and create a word out of that, and you use those letters to create a sigil. Right? If you don't know how to use it to create a sigil, you can even Google that. How to create a sigil, word method, chaos magic style sigil creation, right? And then you need a ritual where you shut off the conscious mind, implant that will into your unconscious mind, and then it will be energized. It will be worked on by your unconscious mind, and before you know it, if you really got it into your unconscious mind and you forget it, so to speak, where it's no longer on your conscious mind, it will actually come to you. Okay, and then in that case, you could do something like a quick banishing ritual, and then you would have to masturbate, imagining being with that person, and so on and so forth. Don't use pornography. Now you can use other methods of stimulation where you use your imagination, but don't use pornography. You think about that person or something else that stimulates you. You would masturbate, and in the moment of orgasm, you put that sigil in your field of vision, and then breathe in and breathe the sigil in, symbolically speaking, and then destroy the sigil, and then the ritual is done. And as you go about your day, and once again, when the desire or when the will comes up, you gotta suppress it. You gotta bring it down into your unconscious mind again. You will go about your day and things, and at one point she's gonna manifest for you. She's gonna be there, right? Hopefully you also program in that she actually likes you. Right? Now, what am I saying here? For all things, and I'm talking about any kind of psychic manipulation, and you could also have created a sigil that influences people for you. Okay, so you're in a certain situation and you project that sigil onto somebody's third eye or their Zeal chakra or wherever, to influence their behavior. They could be around you or not, whatever. You gotta stay non-attached, man. It's gotta be a relaxed state. You can't be attached to the outcome of what you're doing, otherwise you're gonna mess it up. This is the biggest problem that people have, or one of the biggest problems with magic. They're too attached. Even when you do an evocation and you send out the spirit, you gotta get fucking rid of, things can only manifest for you once you forgot them, which means your conscious mind is no longer involved with it, and your unconscious mind can finally do the work. Something cannot be handled by your unconscious mind completely as long as it's in your conscious intention, because see, your decision-making processes, your unconscious decision-making processes are going to be fucked with by your conscious desire, by these expectations that you have. When is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's she going to call back? When's she going to call back? When's she's going to call back? When's my dick going to get hard again? When's my dick going to get hard again? Some of you, I'm sure, have these questions. Like, when I'm going to finally have an erection again, right? Some of you guys. I know. I know. Listen. Right? I hope he likes fat girls. I hope he likes fat girls. Anyways, so back to the topic. So you got to get your conscious mind out of the fucking way. Very important. quick exercise on how to train that. How can you stay non-attached? Okay, maybe you have somebody that you can train with or practice with, and put your hands close to each other. Put your hands next to each other. Touch his hand. Let it rest there. Let him guide and follow his movements. You see? So your partner or like whoever you're doing that with, you're not attached, nonchalant. You just touch. You touch their hand, and they're moving, and you just move with it. You see what I mean? Just moving with them. There's no effort involved. You see, this is maybe something you can use to practice that. Maybe you have a pet. Put your hand on your dog and let it walk, and you just follow it. And maybe think of a couple other exercises that can help you practicing that, right? But the point is, you need to be able to be non-attached to the outcome, nonchalant, and that is what's going to give you the results in psychic seduction, as well as any other form of magic, and in life in general. Because guess what? Your conscious mind, what you identify with, is not in control. It's not. It's your unconscious mind and the energies of nature that are in control. And this is what I teach, how to control the invisible. And I am a master at that, believe me. So, if you're interested in learning psychic seduction, click the link in the description under this video, because we're only beginning. You can still join, and it's fun, trust me. The skill set that you'll learn there, it's fun, trust me. What would you give to have the ability to just go to a random city and give a random woman, and of course a woman that you find attractive and that you vetted and all that stuff, which I'm going to teach as well, of course, too. I've already taught them how to categorize women and how to know exactly who you would want to seduce based on certain psychological characteristics, right? But let's say you have found one that you like, and give her an experience like you would find in a movie. Imagine the most incredible romantic movie, and you can give her that experience for, however long you choose. You can make her your girlfriend. You can make her your, if you want, you can make her your wife, whatever. But you can transform her experience, and she will never, ever, ever feel for another man what she felt for you. You have alpha widowed her, or she's yours. She's yours at that point. She'll never forget you, and she will message you years after, telling you that she couldn't forget you. And it's been 4 years. And you, of course, will tell her, listen, I'm not going to take you back. So my other guy used you. Of course that's not going to happen. But I digress. Let's stick to the fucking topic. If you want to learn psychic seduction, click the link in the description under this video. Fuck, 18 minutes. Okay, so take advantage of it. It's still available. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.